Welcome to the Lawrence University Career Center podcast. I'm Camara White sitting in for Ty Collins, and today we're chatting with Viktoria Vizin. Ms. Vizin is a professional opera singer. She currently resides in Greater Chicagoland area and is on the voice faculty at Depaul University School of Music. Let's get started then. Can you just give me like a general overall of where did you study? And who did you study with? What did your undergrad or graduate experience look like for you? And how did that like kind of shape you wanting to be a performer?
My timeline was a little bit the other way around because first I decided that I wanted to be on stage. I was 4 and I kept it up to now. So it's kind of a unique setting because, normally a 4-year-old says whatever. And I kept it because I felt that drive right away when I was taken to the local theater and then seeing a light opera show, an operetta. And I told my parents, I'm going to be the one up there. I'm going to be the prima donna who recitals, speaks, who dances, who sings. I'm going to be the one who is going to wear those wonderful dresses. And, they were laughing at me or like, of course, not in front of me, but that they had their own reasonings like, okay, whatever, everybody wants that, that's a dream. But just in case, they put me into a special musical educational school, which is from kindergarten to 12th grade. And I had to audition to see whether I have, good hearing for music, good sense rhythm, and how my voice was and so on. And we're not talking about any particular like whether I would be a singer or something. It's just the musicianship that they thought that I definitely, if I have 1% of chance that I would keep this dream, I would have the background of it. And I started piano when I was 5. Okay. I learned solfege with my alphabet, so parallel to everything, and I was part of 13 choirs. Those were all professional, from children's choir up to the adults. And I was traveling because of the choir. I was born in Hungary, and at that time still dealt with communism. So we didn't have a passport. We were not allowed outside of the Iron Curtain. And singing took me out of the Iron Curtain. First time when I was 14. I went to France. And those things, eye-opening for me, because all I saw is from the TV, some American TV shows, and I was like, wow, this is such a dream, and it's totally different lifestyle. I was magnetized by that, like I really wanted to explore that type of Western setting, but we were not able to until the Iron Curtain fell, obviously. And I was a teenager when it happened. And by that time, I was 11, first of all, when I first had the opportunity to do the very first professional appearance on stage. I auditioned for a show where they did everything, every role with children, and it was a children's opera, and then I was the principal artist. The show ran for 40 times. I was 4 times the principal artist, and this was probably the one where I said, okay, I definitely need this. I can't deny this is it. And so 11. And then when I was 14, I started, high school, I started voice training, and my teacher said, well, I wanted to go to theater school to become, just an actress, because that's the most important part that it drove me, to be honest. I wanted an actress. And then my teacher told my parents when I was 14 that, it's great that she wants to be an actress. However, her voice sounds more polished, more sophisticated, and more classical, as I hear right now. And I'm wondering if you would be into something like supporting something like she's going to a conservatory rather than going to a theater school.
Yeah.
We're talking about like 4 more years to go to decide, but she decided that in ways that or through her I decided it, because I said like, okay, in opera, are the people on stage? Well, of course, yeah. Well, so it's acting as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be an opera singer. That was when I was 14. So it was just
cool.
I didn't even know whether I would have the right voice, to do that. But that was an encouragement. And then when I was 17, I auditioned for one of the conservatories outside of the city, and they accepted me. And first I had to do in 1 year, 4 years worth of high school level conservatory, which means it doesn't exist here. We have got comprehensive schools as well over there. So those are high school level talents that they are constantly working on their musician. And then it's not like a regular high school, what I attended actually.
Yeah.
So as for a special music education, however, the conservatory part is more rigorous about the music. What you are studying at higher education level, that's what they are teaching on high school level in that school. I wasn't there, so therefore, when they accepted me to the conservatory in that other city, in 1 year, basically, I just picked up everything what in 4 years you needed to know. And I just went for my next audition the following year, and then they accepted me. And then that was my undergrad years over there. It's called the Franz Liszt Conservatory. And it was in a city where it's right at the border of Serbia. So it's still Hungary, but it's a border city. And it's a university city as well. So it's a bunch of universities in one town. So I went there. Altogether, I was 5 years there, but obviously the first year was that catch up year.
Yeah.
And then I was still not sure about what exactly I wanted to have with this career, because I was still into theater a lot. And therefore, I was adamant about it that once I'm done with this undergrad, I'm going for my next 4 years, and I'm going to do a totally different genre, which is going to be a theater school in the capital. And for that reason, I went back and forth between 3 cities just to make sure that I have that acting skill. I have everything that I will be ready once I'm done with my first diploma. And because of that, I asked my teachers to accommodate a lot of, missing. Like, I didn't go there to their courses in presenting myself in person, because I felt that I need to advocate for myself. And I went to them one by one, and then I said, this is what's going on. I need this. I need to be there in the capital 3 days a week. That is conflicting my course schedule. And please load me with extracurricular academics. I'm going to do it for you. I have got free time in Budapest at the capital between my courses over there. I'm going to a library, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to dig deep into that topic. But please do not stop me, because even though you say no, I'm going to do this. When I'm thinking back, it's like, oh my God, what did I do?
You got things done.
Yes, yeah. So basically, I really doubled my abilities because I was still thinking, okay, I'm doing this, and my second diploma is going to be in straight theater. That's it. And well, it didn't happen that way because one of those music library times, when I was researching for one of my courses, I was thinking about the topic, and I looked up, and there was a board with a poster, and that was about an international singing competition in Romania. And then I took the information, and I asked my teacher, like, okay, what do you think about this? And the teacher said, like, well, you can go there. You won't win, obviously, because, well, political things, Hungary and old history. You are from Hungary. They are not going to let you win. So go there and have an experience. I said, sure, there is no pressure. I'm going. I won the competition. And that was my first international competition. Mind you, I didn't ask permission from the dean to go. So I knew that I would need to have a talk to the dean after that. So I knocked at the door, and I said, well, hello. I would like to have a chat with you. Sure. What's the topic? And he said, well, I have got a good and the bad news. Bad news. I have not asked any permission to leave the school, but I went to this international singing competition without your knowledge and without your acknowledgement. And the reason why I did it, because I really felt inside, and my sixth sense told me that I needed to go outside of my comfort zone. And I thought that would be a lovely place to be. And I won the competition. So that put a smile on him. And you know, I was always good at talking, so I made sure that I got out with this whole situation really well. And then so that was my last year over there as an undergrad. And because I won that competition, I took a little detour in my studies, because I was ready to go to the music academy up in the capital to do my master's and the opera studio. I was getting ready for the auditions and so on, but I won this competition, and one of the judges were part of the music academy over there, and he said, I'm going to find you an international scholarship, so full ride, come to us for the masters. Well, sure. I mean, you know, 22-year-old girl thinking like, I don't want to go to like a 3-round audition where here is like, hey, everything is all covered. Let's come here outside of the country. How exciting, right? And then the other judge was, well, there were multiple, but the other one was the artistic director of one of the opera houses of the city in Romania. And he offered me a role, a title role, actually. So, yeah, I said, like, of course I'm coming here. Because I get paid and I'm having a full scholarship. Like, come on, you know?
Yeah.
It's just an easy decision. And yeah, I ended up in Romania. And I thought that on paper, I was there for 4 years because I did master's there. And then right after, without my permission or without my even asking me, they put me on the PhD program. And I started to do my PhD without knowing it, and they called me like, Victoria, where are you? And I said, what do you mean? I already had my master's. I have my graduate degree, everything. I don't need to be there anymore. Well, but you know, without your acknowledgement, the dean decided to put your name down, and then you won this opportunity. So you are a PhD student. And so I don't want to have a PhD. I have a running career now. In fact, it was a running career already. And then she said, that was the secretary, she says, just come here, just fly here and then have a talk. There was one sentence what made me decide that I'm doing the PhD. The professor, the advisor, told me that I've read your thesis on the very small operas where, it's the requirement for the grad degree. And it was great. And you have a great taste of researching and speaking about the topic, but you're still just a singer. And that freaked me out, to be honest, because I know that we were back then in the undergrad, in my undergrad years, singers were the ones that they couldn't really comprehend a lot of things. And since I didn't tell you, but I was playing the piano for 17 years. For me, picking up the solfege, picking up everything, being in 13 choirs constantly, sight reading. And I'm particularly good at theory. I love theory. It was bothering me when somebody was mocking the singers, and that professor just pushed my buttons. And I went to the office and they said, okay, I decided I'm doing it. So,
nice.
So that's how I have a PhD. I don't regret it now, obviously, but then how the career started parallelly to this, because I won that first competition and I got that opportunity to sing my first professional role there in that opera house. I met a person who threw a brochure into my hand. It's like, hey, there is an international competition here. It's going to be in Budapest, but it's not a national competition. It is going to be together with Kyoto, with Arena di Verona, with Ludwigshafen in Germany, and then with the State Opera House in Hungary. And then it is going to be for the roles of Falstaff. And then I won the competition as well. And that was 3 months into my grad studies. And I won the competition. And the following month, I ended up in Verona, starting my career big time. So I did my debut in Romania as Rosina from the Barber of Seville. Then I went to the following month, I went to Verona, and I just picked up, it went from 1 second to another. They just threw me the international competitions. I won them and I got the opportunities. And that's why I'm so much pushing all of my students to do competitions, because you never know what sticks. You just don't know.
You have one heck of a life story. Oh my, you should look into writing a book. Just saying. I think that'd be a very good use of your time. What kind of networking strategies did you use to secure roles at operas in the States? And how did you keep getting asked to come back?
Well, it's not as easy as it sounds. Now that I'm looking back, my career is pretty much straightforward up there. But the networking is at this point, when I moved to the US, it actually happened because of my agent. So my doing that. But by that time, I already sang the first 5 years of my career. I sang all the Mozart roles, and then I started Wagner, just the comprimario roles, but still it's getting into the Wagner business. It's like an exclamation point next to your name. And then all the big houses in Europe happened to me, like the Wiener Staatsoper and the Covent Garden. And then because of the Covent Garden, it's really a big networking between the A houses and the world big houses. Everybody knows everybody. And this is how basically it happened. So when I did the Covent Garden first, they just tried me out as Flora. And then after that, right away, they offered me Maddalena, and then the following season, Maddalena, and then Paulina in the Pigdam. And then, well, I got pregnant with my firstborn, and I had to say no to the Maddalena at that time. Later on, they called me back for a revival, so it's so good. After all, I did it. That's Rigoletto, and then I did it with Dmitry Vorovsovsky and Rolando Villasone and all the star cast. So I'm not complaining that I said no first time. So because of that happened, it just traveled right here that, oh, okay, so there is an audition and you are invited to that audition. It was a general audition here at the Lyric. And then that my agent said, like, okay, Viktoria, but let's count your pregnancy and everything, because, this is cutting kind of short. And, I was pregnant twice. I know exactly how it feels being pregnant, and then you can't predict how it is. My motto of the word of my life is that don't think, just do it. When it comes to important decisions, don't think, just do it. And it helped me through these type of tough decisions. I told my agent, just book me. I will be there. So I gave birth 10 days before that general audition at the Lyric. And I got on the regional train, the metro train, with a little basket in my...
That's so cute.
I didn't even know. And then my firstborn was really tiny, so people didn't even realize what I was carrying.
Oh, wait, that's so cute.
And then I arrived, and I just said, okay, so my name is Viktoria Vizin, and then I'm here for the audition. And by the way, I'm gonna need a help because I don't have a nanny, and I have this one here. And then they're looking at, oh, that's a tiny baby. So yeah, I went to have my audition. For 10 minutes. Someone was in that room and then took care of my baby. And then I got my first contract right away. And then actually I had 2 contracts because the former artistic advisor, Matthew Epstein, believed me so much. He was the advisor of the Santa Fe Opera Festival. And then he said, hey, I want you to audition for that season because you are a very particular mezzo-soprano, and I want you to do Beatrice and Benedict. So I got 2 things out of it. The first was Così fan tutte, which I never did at Lyric because I exchanged it to Carmen. So we're talking about 2001 November. They hired me for 2007 Così fan tutte. By the time I got the hit, I was the hit Carmen in the big A houses. So I swapped around, and then I became Carmen here at the Lyric in 05-06. So yeah, that's how it happened. And then as a networking, it's how it works in the in the long run. In this particular house, I did not come back to perform. It happened at the Metropolitan, at the Covent Garden, all the other big houses. At the Lyric, I didn't come back. However, they found me, and then we are collaborating because I became a specialty language coach for them when it comes to Blue Castle. I'm working with Ryan Center, new opera emerging artists. So I just got an email from the vice president and the director of the Ryan Center because he wants me to give a tour guide, and then be the person who is taking care of someone from Scotland, from a conservatory, the head of the conservatory over there, because he wants to see the Depaul, and so this is what I'm going to work on now, to network myself with that person through the dean of the Depaul University. And so you just never know how the network ends, and it never ends. It's always just maintain always the connections, what you had. You don't know which secretary is going to become the next general director.
So the last question is, what advice would you give an aspiring performer who hopes to become a professional performer?
Just go for it, but with all your cells of your body. You cannot just do it halfway. You need to sweat through it, sweat blood through it. It sounds very rough, but it pays off so much once you are on stage. You cannot just hold back with thoughts. Oh, but how? But what if? Nope, there is no what if. That's that. Do you want this? Go for it. Go all the way. That's a given. You need to practice. I want to point out, I was a crazy one. In undergrad years, I practiced solid 8 hours a day, which is a nonsense. My teacher said, like, Jesus, Victoria, you are not real. And I said, but this is normal, because I hate when I'm wrong, when I'm not right. So I need to work on it. I don't recommend that. Obviously, it's a lot. But through those hours, I'm sure that everybody reads now all these self-encouraging, mentally, preparatory books, psychological books. Those books are mentioning the 10,000 hour rule. If you want to put yourself into something, it doesn't matter what type of genre, you need to really invest time into it. And then people were making a research on it, especially on athletes, that around 10,000 hours until you really turn this around and make it yours. And if I ever have that much time, I would put it together when my 10,000 hour arrived, because I literally worked a lot on this. So know how you are practicing, know how effective the practice is. The practice is the number one thing, obviously. Constantly think about how you can get better, not necessarily only singing. Your attitude, your widening your thoughts about this genre, about the career, about the surrounding, about some people say, like, yes, I want to do it, but I don't want to. I'm afraid of traveling. And this is coming with traveling. So you know what you want and what it comes with. Yes, I want family, and I'm not sure if this is going to happen. Well, it happens. I've got 2 kids. Well, if we ask them, yes, sometimes they were suffering because I was away for months and months, but a lot of times I took them, when there was no school time, they were traveling with me. So there are pros and cons in everything. Literally, just put yourself 100% into it. Be very focused. Don't slip away, not even for a second, because then it is not going to happen, because the life has changed its timing and it's really fast paced. So the moment you start like, well, I don't know, maybe I have more no, you don't have time. Now it happens, now in this moment.
What would you say to a young artist who is struggling with comparison?
Comparing him or herself to someone else. I just had a huge talk with one of my auditionees, my hard recruits. She started to cry. I saw her like building up things, and last week, all pitch perfect. And you are your own self. You cannot compare to anybody because that's not your instrument, that's not your soul, that's not your thought. That body in your friend, in your competitive friend, is not you. You cannot be her, you cannot be him, you cannot be them. You just need to focus who you are and be the best of your own self for the moment.
I needed to hear that too. Thank you. That was really lovely.